in Wisconsin. We'll take a look at the new home of the Wolverines in Ann Arbor, and we'll look ahead to next week and scout the Spartans of Michigan State. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Gary Moeller and Jim Brandstatter.
And the Wolverines open up the Big Ten season with a 41-3 dismantling of Wisconsin. Not a bad way to open the Big Ten season.
Yeah, Jim, it's a great way, and it's the thing that we needed to get started in the conference, and now we look forward to a tough Michigan State game.
You know, I got to lay it on you here early. With Notre Dame getting beat and Florida State getting beat, somebody's going to rank you #1.
Well, I'm not worried about that.
Are you ready for that?
It's nice, but that isn't anything we want to talk about, really. It's at the end of the year, that's when you want to talk about those things. But it's nice to be in that company, so to speak. But we got a long way to go. And, you know, there's only one game that we're looking more forward to than the Michigan State game, and that's the Rose Bowl someday. So that's what we want to get to.
You're not going to let it play on anybody's minds, are you? If it happens, you have to guard against thinking you're #1.
Right, but it's something that you can never completely get out of your mind. The players can't either. But, you know, you got to work towards that end in a different way, but keep focus on the game right in front of you.
The game that just passed against Wisconsin, a game that you said after the game you think your team improved a lot in that game. And, boy, that's something you needed to do. You feel you have to get better every week.
Yeah, I definitely felt we played better than we did in the Maryland game. The thing that concerned me a little bit was the penalties. We had a couple of series there where we didn't handle the ball properly, and we had a couple of penalties that really hurt us.
You opened it up going to the air. Was that by design?
Yeah, the opening play, we wanted to mix it up a little bit, and we hit Dave Diebold there over the middle, and then we come back, and Derek Alexander makes a great catch going out of bounds. We had some good catches in today's game. Our running backs, 3 of them just about got close to 100 yards apiece, and we used the fullback a little more. There's John Vaughn. Elvis hits Desmond here over the middle, and Desmond runs after he catches it and puts it in the end zone.
Well, one of the keys to it, again, is because they were up, they wanted to stop the run, and they left you open in the secondary.
Yeah, they brought a lot of people, and, you know, sometimes you think, oh, we should have thrown more, but we still got to work on the running game.
Defense, even though they hit this pass here and on their opening drive do pretty well, you've still felt the defense improved against
Right here, this is what we basically did to the run all day, and that's still the key to defense, is stopping the run. Then they try a long field goal, and it's wide to the left, and they miss that one, and so we're still maintaining a 7-0 lead.
And one of the keys to the game, again, is the fact that your guys continued to work at the running game. You said you got stubborn, and you said, I'm going to get this thing done.
Right. There was one of the examples of holding on this call with John Vaughn running the ball there. But, yeah, we got to make sure that running game goes, and we got to toughen up in there.
Talk about statistics. How about your punt coverage team?
Yeah, I know. Jim, we've given up 3 returns for -1 yard, so that's great.
And that's in 4 games.
That's in 4 games, right. We had 4 of them blocked, or 5 of them blocked last year. There's Wellborn making a great play on a 3rd and 1, which really
at this point. You're right. At that point in the game, it was a big play, 7-0 lead.
Exactly. Then John Vaughn gets loose here a little bit, just about gets it out. He had a couple runs that came close to breaking. Jefferson had one.
And then again, you go back to the air with Elvis. This is another great catch.
Yeah, Desmond makes a good sideline catch. Elvis was putting it right on the sideline, which is good because you keep away from the interceptions, but they make them tough, or they make for tough catches. Then Allen Jefferson gets loose here and just gets pulled down from behind. I think he went about 44 yards on that one. So Allen had a good day, too. And Bunch, we wanted to get the ball to Bunch. You know, we talked about this early in the season, Jim. You got to establish a fullback inside. And they were playing us wide, and we finally got the ball in there. And this is a fine catch here by Derek Alexander. In fact, I think he was interfered with. The defender ran into him.
At that point with a 14-0 lead, you got to feel a little more comfortable at this point, because that was a good 88-yard drive.
Exactly. We took the opening drive, went down and scored. Then we had 3 that stalled and punted 3 straight times, and then we came back and we scored every time since then, other than the 1 fumble. There's a big interception right before halftime, which gives us an opportunity to score. We failed to do that. Todd Plate intercepted. Then we hit the screen to John Vaughn on 3rd down. We were better this week on 3rd down conversions.
This, though, disappointed you a little bit that you weren't able to punch this in just before half, put them away.
That would have done it. And JD, I was happy to see that JD was consistent today, kicking field goals, his kickoffs were better, and hopefully he'll be back in that groove. But rather than the 17-0 halftime lead, we'd like to make it 21, but well, still, the goose egg is the key thing, Jim. If you keep those zeros up there, you're going to win a lot of games, believe me.
At halftime, though, with the 17-0 lead, the fact you couldn't punch it in, and you did have some trouble running the ball. And in the middle of the first quarter into the second quarter, you got to say, man, what's wrong? We're not really cooking yet.
Well, we went back and made a couple adjustments at halftime that helped us. But I get a little upset with that because I like to make those adjustments on the field and not wait to halftime to do it. But it's a little clearer on the blackboard, and we really just said, hey, they're blitzing us a lot. We got to mix it up a little bit more. And then we made a couple blocking adjustments that seemed to help. And I think, too, the size of our team wore their team down a little bit as the game continued on.
I certainly hope the adjustments helped because the Wolverines went out in the second half and took the Badgers right out of Madison. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second half highlights when Michigan replay continues.
Oh, basically it was, I'm not for sure of the coverage, but the cornerback who was checking me backed up to the hash, so I guess it was kind of like a 2-deep squat. And basically I just ran an eye route, ran right across the ball, and Elvis put it right there on the money, hit me in the numbers. I juggled it at first, but once I got control of it, I just turned back into a running back.
For the latest University of Michigan sports information,
it was a big play, but there was a lot of big plays out there, and I don't want to really put mine ahead of anybody else's. Fumble recovery by Anderson. We just had the defense as a whole, just a lot of 3-and-out series, and that gives the offense a chance to move the ball.
Todd played certainly echoes the coach's feelings. The defense played very, very well against Wisconsin, and with the 17-0 lead at halftime, what were the adjustments you made offensively? I know their tackles, Davey and Batch, were playing real tough and getting upfield hard on you.
Yeah, they were doing that, Jim, so we went a little bit more with the fullback inside. But the other thing, they were playing a lot of man-to-man coverage on our wideouts and bringing the safety, free safety and strong safety inside, filling the run.
And when that happens, you've just got to go up there, Desmond and Derek.
We did early. We went for a bomb, and we had it open. We pulled up a little bit on the route, and we didn't hit it exactly like we wanted to, but it should have been a completion. Here, John gets loose again for a long run. But these are the things we got to do. And once in a while, ball carriers just got to break a tackle at the line.
Now, you don't get into the end zone, but you kick the field goal on your opening possession of the third quarter. You go up 20-0, and a little breathing room there, but the real good part of this thing had to be the way the defense played.
Exactly. They hold them quite a bit, and then we're able to move the ball every time we had it in the second half, which is important.
And that was an example of Bunch getting it done over the middle.
Right. Here's Ricky Powers on a counter play. Ricky had 106 yards in the game. I thought he ran well.
That's your true freshman, and he's going to be a good one.
Right. Yeah, I think he's going to be a good player. Here's Desmond catching a nice thrown ball by Elvis, putting it in the correct place.
And there's that one-on-one coverage you went at.
Yeah, exactly. It's an example. And here's John Vaughn just running over a guy and leaning the ball into the end zone. Now we're back in there. Now they start weakening, and our strength takes over.
And that's what you like to see from John Vaughn, a little more power running like
right.
that.
He did that last week. Remember, he went in the end zone once low and driving over him. He's doing a better job at that. Sometimes they're always looking for the big hole, you know. Here's a Martin Davis knocking the ball loose, and the fumble that Todd Plate was referring to that Eric Anderson come up with. Martin Davis has made some big plays for us. The guy that causes the fumble a lot more than the guy that recovers it a lot of times. Here's Powers on a good run.
And again, you're hitting him in between the tackles rather than trying to run at the tackles.
Yeah, exactly. We did a little bit of this in the first half, then they caught us in a blitz one time, and that hurt us. But there's another good strong run up inside. But we still, on a couple plays, wanted to get outside.
How did Desmond Howard get so far open in that one to be 34-0?
Well, they were just ganged up to play the run. And the one thing we say is, you know, we can't just let them all in there to play the run. So we had to throw the ball. there's Brian Townsend making good defensive play, which is an example, and hopefully this will continue the rest of the year.
Yeah,
it's not going to be quite as easy.
You were more pleased with the way the defense played. You don't want to talk about offense, do you?
Yes, as I said, you know, if you shut them out, you're in great shape. This is Kenny Solomon now in at quarterback, and it's Ricky Powers for about a 10-yard pickup.
And the second line is in there, and they do a good job.
Yeah, we had them in there the whole fourth quarter, and the first time we take the ball, this is the drive, we take it right down and score about 80-yard drive, which was really a great feeling, and I know it'll help our depth problem.
Number 7 there was Alfie Birch. You like him a lot.
Yes, he's doing a good job for us. Should be a good wide receiver. He's a young kid, hasn't played a lot of receiver, really. Alan Jefferson breaks off tackle for about 20. Here's Bernie Leggett, our backup fullback. He has good feet in there. He made the shallow cuts real well. And then Powers goes around right in for the final score.
And he gets in, and of course, that's his first touchdown ever as a Michigan player. And boy, there may be some more of those, you think?
Well, let's hope there's a lot of them for him and the rest of the team, obviously. But I think he'll make a few before it's all over. Here's Eric Knuth making a sack, our backup middle guard, who really plays a lot in there. And now our second-team defense is in there, too, and they did a good job here.
And here's the only mistake really you didn't like.
Yeah, this is it. This is our only turnover. You know, we've been working hard to eliminate those turnovers. And Bernie Leggett coughs up the ball there, and it still takes them 6 plays. Our defense holding them, our second team, but that's our only score of the game was a field goal at the end of the game. So
41-3 is the final. The one thing he said after the game, and I don't know whether it was joking or not, you're saying, boy, I'm mad we didn't get the shutout. You'd like to get that shutout. I guess the old defensive coordinator attitude showed up, didn't it?
Yeah, I always loved those things when I was running the defense. But I think it gives your kids a little special confidence, a little pride that they can build on. And, you know, you just love that. It's like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or shutout or whatever. That's the same thing that whole defense feels. And we need that. We need that confidence going into the Michigan State game.
And you were saying all along, and again, this goes back to your feeling about how the defense must get better. The one way you can continually win is with the dominating defense. And that's what you hadn't seen the first 3 games.
Exactly. And be truthful, Jim, we're going to meet a lot better offenses than what Wisconsin was. And the reason I was happy and I wanted to see it, because that is a team, in my honest opinion, going in, I thought we should shut out. Not that it's easy and you're always going to do it, but we had a chance to do it. And that's why I say we got a little bit better and we lived up to the expectations. But I thought they did a good job defensively.
And offensively, again, it seems like it's a little inconsistent yet. I mean, that's the one thing I think that you're disappointed with.
Right. I'm the kind of guy who wants to score every time you get the ball. Unfortunately,
tell me a coach that isn't.
Right. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. But I think we got that kind of team that we should put points on the board. Now we're going to meet some tougher defenses as we go. But Wisconsin's strength was with their defense and a couple good tackles in there. So, and they give us problems by bringing the extra people in. That's why, as you indicate, we hit a couple bombs.
Well, the big plays, of course, made Michigan a winner over Wisconsin. Michigan's got a winner for a new home also. We'll be back to see that. But first, we hear from a true freshman who had his best day as a Wolverine.
Holes were so open, you didn't know where to go. Now I know how John Vaughn feels sometimes when he goes through a hole. I mean, in high school, you used to, running into linebackers a couple times, but you run through these holes and you see nothing there, and you don't know what to do. You want to run straight or side to the left or the right. You don't know what to do. So, I mean, it was basically going on instinct, and I happened to just lower my shoulder on a couple of guys, and it worked. Feels good. Feels great, I'll tell you that. I've been waiting a long time for a touchdown, and I finally got it. Those guys, they helped me through it all. And, I like to thank them and the coaches for letting me play.
Looking to today, the structure took just 16 months to be functional, and it's all and more than the Wolverines expected.
Couldn't believe it when they broke ground, couldn't believe when the wall started going up, and now walking through it, can't believe it. And it's a tremendous design. The Burkert's architects really did a wonderful job in putting it together. And now that it's done, it's really going to serve us very, very well. It's much more, and, well, I should say everything we anticipated it would be.
The logistics to get it all done went off perfectly. The team went through some cramped conditions last year when they were moved into the stadium in Chrysler Arena. But as prime tenants of the new facility, everything was on schedule.
The team moved in on time. It was fully utilized for fall practice, and everybody's in. It's not done. There's a lot of touch-up that needs to be done, and there's a lot of detail to this building. It's a very let's say, architecturally still stark on the outside, but inside it's very detailed. There's a lot of detail work to be put in, and it will be time, probably another 2-3 weeks before it's finished. Really won't be able to show it off until next April, when finally the staff quits utilizing it 24 hours a day and we get a little bit of a break, and then we're going to show it off.
When Seifert says show it off, it's an understatement, because this facility is more than just a locker room for the football team.
We're going to have the museum in the Center Champions that will portray the history, the great tradition of Michigan athletics, that the public will be able to come in and take a look-see and feel, touch, and become a part of the tradition of Michigan athletics, not just the public. Our freshman athletes coming in, our athletes that are here at Michigan, will begin to get an understanding of what the great tradition of Michigan athletics is all about. It's going to have a dining facility in it that'll be the first, the commons area that'll be used for multi-purpose uses for athletics. It's the first really fine dining facility that we can have on the athletic campus to be used by the university, to be used by athletics for individual sports, banquets, kickoff, awards dinners, whatever, as well as the amphitheater meeting room, which can be used by the School of Education for classes, as well as the entire athletic department for meetings, and the university as well as another amphitheater meeting room.
The one thing about the Center of Champions that really puts you at the state-of-the-art in facilities, and really it's a help in recruiting, isn't it?
Oh, there's no question about that, Jim. And the other thing, it's going to make us a better football team. All those little aids, you know, that we had, and I know really when it started, and you and I both know that Bo was the guy that initiated this whole thing. We want to have facilities just like the rest of the university, really. And it's no better than our new chemistry building or a lot of our other facilities, but we want to keep that pace, and it's very important.
And the word is they're going to name it Schembechler Hall, even though he doesn't want it named Schembechler. But he doesn't have anything to say about it anymore, does he?
No, he has no control over that thing. And, you know, everybody wants it named that, and he deserves that, and that's what the building should be called. And no, he can't tell us what to do with it all.
It's kind of nice for the change not to have him tell us what to do. Don't go away. We'll be back. Take a look at the Spartans of Michigan State. They're next when Michigan Replay continues.
I think we played very well for our first Big Ten game, and hopefully this propel us into Michigan State, because you know what that means to all of us.
You tell me what it means to all of you.
You don't even have to explain. That's one of those things, I mean, it's state, it's state, it's state. If you have to say anything more than that, then you're in the wrong place, because this is Michigan, not Michigan State.
Now available on home video, the Schembechler years. From the 1969 upset of Ohio State to the back-to-back Big Ten championships of '88 and '89, Bo looks back on his 21-year career at Michigan.
For God's sake, let's get him started.
For one.
Right, but it's something that you can never completely get out of your mind. The players can't either. But, you know, you got to work towards that end in a different way, but keep focus on the game right in front of you.
The game that just passed against Wisconsin, a game that you said after the game you think your team improved a lot in that game, and boy, that's something you needed to do. You feel you have to get better every week.
Yeah, I definitely felt we played better than we did in America.
In Wisconsin, we'll take a look at the new home of the Wolverines in Ann Arbor, and we'll look ahead to next week and scout the Spartans of Michigan State. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Gary Moeller and Jim Brandstatter.
And the Wolverines open up the Big Ten season with a 41-3 dismantling of Wisconsin. Not a bad way to open the Big Ten season.
Yeah, Jim, it's a great way, and it's the thing that we needed to get started in the conference, and now we look forward to a tough Michigan State game.
You know, I got to lay it on you here early. With Notre Dame getting beat and Florida State getting beat, somebody's going to rank you #1.
Well, one game. The thing that concerned me a little bit was the penalties. We had a couple of series there where we didn't handle the ball properly, and we had a couple penalties that really hurt us.
You opened it up going to the air. Was that by design?
Yeah, the opening play, we wanted to mix it up a little bit, and we hit Dave Diebold there over the middle, and then we come back, and Derek Alexander makes a great catch going out of bounds. We had some good catches in today's game. Our running backs, 3 of them just about got close to 100 yards apiece, and we used, I'm not worried about
Are you ready for that?
It's nice, but that isn't anything we want to talk about, really. It's at the end of the year, that's when you want to talk about those things, but it's nice to be in that company, so to speak, but we got a long way to go, and you know, there's only one game that we're looking more forward to than the Michigan State game, and that's the Rose Bowl someday, so that's what we want to get to.
You're not going to let it play on anybody's minds, are you? If it happens, you have to guard against thinking you're number